All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, it's Frostbyte. Hey, I got some bad news. uh, we've got a problem. And the problem that we have is that my fear of this morning's actions are in fact true. So what does that mean? What are we looking at? What is this actually what is this going to mean for us? So I want to take a minute. I want to talk about chat. I want to let some people get in here. But I am really, really freaking angry right now. Looking at the information here, I know that there's a couple other people streaming. I apologize for streaming over the top of some of you. But I'm rather torqued. The reason I'm so upset about this isn't because that it makes it difficult for people to get something. The reason that I'm upset about this is the my personal belief. Okay, this is my opinion. This is Frosty's opinion, nobody else's. But my personal opinion in this matter is that the US Mint has screwed the collector once again. I am beside myself with frustration. This morning we talked about in the live stream, we talked about some of the items. I showed the various pieces of information, showed some eBay listings where people were claiming that they already had the US flowing hair design privy mark. And after looking at some things, doing some research today, talking with a couple people, and looking at some other things that have been posted online, it is confirmed, 100% confirmed, that there are dealers out there who already have that privy mark. So what the hell does this mean? I'm sorry, David. Unfortunately, I had to put it that way because the way I'm streaming right now. So um, this is supposed to be. Again. This is Frostbite's opinion. Okay, the Mint had a great opportunity to really engage the early collector. The Mint really had a great opportunity to engage some people into something that could be a really big thing. The Mint had a really good opportunity to kind of dig in and say, we're going to give an opportunity to the general public that hasn't been seen for quite some time. It's really cool. And you know what? We're going to leave it open to the general public. And from all basis points, if you look at everything that they've said, it shows that yeah, it is yeah, that's exactly what they said, right? No, it's not. So this morning I talked about some of the eBay listings that were listed out there and the fact that, be careful with some of these. As we look at some of this, we're going to see potential fakes and things of that nature, right? We're going to see a bunch of items that are being utilized to kind of deceive. Well, guess what? Not necessarily. And the reason I'm so angry about this is because I just confirmed with, and I've two sources. One of them is Silver Dragons, just confirmed that they have, in fact. So Silver Dragons posted something, and I'm going to read this as close to verbatim as I can. Oh, guy, I'm so pissed off right now. Like, they had such a great opportunity to really engage the new collector, to put something out there that was affordable, that people could do, and they just jacked it up. Um, the Mint once again strikes and just absolutely F's up. Again, I'm so freaking angry at the US Mint. Like, I am beyond upset. I'm challenging the Mint director to reach out, go live, and have a discussion about why they think it's okay to send these privy marks to the bulk collectors ahead of time, screwing the normal collector out of the opportunity to get some of these things and really have the opportunity to get something cool from the US Mint without getting screwed by big business. I'm really freaking angry. I'm angry for our hobby. The Mint is screwing us, and I'm really pissed off. So I apologize if you could probably have never seen me this angry before. I'm actually flush. I'm so hot right now. I'm going to read you the best that I can, and I'll get to chat in just a minute, okay? But here's some things that we know. Okay, these are some things that we actually know. Now, again, this is coming from Silver Dragon, so I pulled some information off of what he had to say. According to the source, 75,000 of these are not going to be made available because up to 10% of the coins have already been sent out to those who've already been approved under the bulk program. I repeat, folks, okay, up to 10% of these have already gone out. Now, what we don't know is of that 10%, how many were privy marks. There's also something else coming from here that really, it just steams me. It really freaking steams me. We'll get there here in just a minute. When he talked about the fact that these are out there, when he talked about the fact that there's the opportunity for these to be out there, what we look at is if we take the 1794. So again, 1794 was the year the flowing hair came out. That's why the 1794 is so important. Okay. 230 is the 230th anniversary of that coin. So we understand what those numbers mean. So this 1794 out of 75,000, okay? 75,000. The odds of getting one of these is 2.4%. Now, I guarantee you that the mint's going to say, well, the odds are still there. It's really random, but it's not. And I'm going to explain why. Silver Dragon spoke to the mint, and the mint said, well, we don't know how many have been sent. It is random. Well, if they don't know how many have been sent, then what is the likelihood that a majority of those have already gone out? How do we know that of the 1,794 that have already gone out there, that we don't have 1,000 of them that are already hands of the bulk dealers? What is the likelihood that we're going to be able to buy some of these? Look at these freaking eBay listings. Go online. I challenge you to go online, pull up eBay, look at the 1794 flowing hair. You're going to see some of these privy marks already listed at $900 or $1,000. The other thing that really freaking steams me, and I mean really freaking steams me, is that 230 of these are going to come with certificates. How many of those 230 have been pulled off? How many of those are gone? How many of those do we not have? So what is the real odds of a genuine person, a normal day-to-day Joe like you and me? What are the odds that we're actually going to be able to get one of these? Nobody knows. It could be as low as a 0.5%, right? I mean, it's horrible. The mint has screwed us yet again. I was really hoping they had the great opportunity here to really do something great for collectors, to really come alongside the collectors and do something to really engage people and really give people the opportunity. And once again, they are worried about lining their damn pockets, worried about big business, and they screwed the young person. They screwed the person who's new to this, who has just enough money to buy one of these, and they screw us yet again. Now, I hope somebody from the mint sees this. Reach out to me, let me know. Tell me that I'm wrong. Tell me that Stormy's wrong. Tell me that Silver Dragon looks at this and they've misunderstood. Tell me that the likelihood that that rate of 2.4% isn't smaller now because many of these are already in the hands of the big bulk company who can buy 10,000 of these or 3,000 of these or 5,000 of these, however, at one shot. Tell me, how many are gone? Well, according to what Silver Dragon said, they didn't know. Well, we don't know. It's random. So if they don't know, what's the likelihood that of these 7 or 8,000 coins that went out, that maybe 1,000 of them had the privy mark? Who knows? They could have been on the top of the stack. How do we know how many are left? We don't. And they really screwed us yet again. They really blew up the opportunity for us to have something cool. I can't spend $1,000 for this. I was really looking forward to having the opportunity. Now, I'm going to be happy if I can just get in and get a coin. Or am I? I'm basically here to say screw the mint. I am so ticked off. I do not think that I'm going to do it. And I just, right now I'm hot. I'm really hot under the collar because again, it is metal jack, but the problem is that there's a lot of people who look at that 1794 as a really important piece of historical numismatic presence. That there's something really with this that we had the opportunity to get back in when the US Mint screwed us on choices for coins in 2026 semi-quincentennial. They chose some of the most woke crap that's out there. They made multiple versions of things, and granted, some of them are really good, but they didn't have to choose the ones that they did. But they chose the most woke crap to go with. And then when we have an opportunity to see something really numismatic, when we had the opportunity to see a bit of history revisited with the US Mint, they go and jack us by lying to us about what the real odds are because they don't know. Well, the problem is that if this is open to the general public, this is open to the collector, they should have gone to the damn public. They shouldn't have gone to the bulk dealers. The bulk dealers should have got the non-privy ones and they should have got the ones with the non-certificates. Now, here's the question. I haven't asked Stormy this. If Stormy's out there, he happens to come in, wants to say something, please holler at me, send me an email, let me know because I would be more than happy to bring you up here and talk about this because I'm really hot. This really steams me because I walked away from the mint and said I was done. But I am a person that if I see a problem, I'm going to work really hard to try and find solutions. I'm going to ask questions and I'm going to dig in and I'm going to try to find solution, find ways to make things a little bit better. And I saw some potential improvements in the mint. I saw that they were working on their site. I heard that there were a lot of great things that were going on. And I was really going to give it a chance because I really wanted to see some good things finally start to happen. And I've heard great things about the mint director. And I was like, they finally have the opportunity really here to engage the person who looks like a to really engage a person who is beginning into this hobby, who's really kind of coming into it, that understands a little bit about the connection with our past, numismatic past, to the numismatic present. Um, I look like a Democrat. Um, I'm too red right now to be looking like a Democrat, but thank you for that. Again, I'm really hot right now because I can't afford $1,000 for one of these. I just can't. Now I can get one of the other ones, that's great. But if my odds are now less than 1%, is it even worth me to drop $104 for a piece of silver? Now, granted, it's still really cool and I would still really like to have one, but is it worth it? And when I heard the information that Stormy put out about this, I was hot. And we had talked about this morning, and I talked with Paula Bloom afterwards from Livecoin Q&A. And it's like, look, there's history. They do this stuff with eBay. And I had reached out to somebody on eBay and I said, look, you have these up there. You're guaranteed 5 sets of these. How can you guarantee these? And they're like, well, we've already received them. Confirmed. Confirmed. One dealer has 5. Now we talked about this when we were looking at what are the odds, the probability of trying to find one of these. And if there's a really good statistical math person out there that can run these numbers, that the numbers are tremendously high. The likelihood of 1,794 of these out of 75,000 that you'd get one is 2.4%. The likelihood that you would get two, that those odds increase dramatically. 3 go through the roof. You get to 4, you're in the hundreds of thousands, if not millions to 1. And 5 of those for one single person, you're looking at a billion, right? The number is insane. It's absolutely outrageous. And the fact that there are already dealers out there with more than one, that there are dealers out there with multiples of these, that you know they're going to be dropping them on October 15th for $1,000 a pop. How many are left? Can the US Mint answer the call how many are left? Because you know what? I bet they don't want to answer it. I bet they just don't want to answer it. I'm very disappointed in the US Mint. Um, so here's some things that here again to go over this real quick. 75,000 coins. Now here's some estimations based off some of the things that I've heard and doing just some general basic math. And you guys, thank you for coming in. Please do me a favor, smash that like, double tap the screen. If you want to subscribe, please subscribe. But I just want to give you the information. Okay, that's my point. What we do know, 75,000 mintage, one per household. Okay. Now, according to what was said by the release that was put out by Silver Dragons, they had up to 10% can be sold in this bulk program. Okay, so if we take the 75 out of that, that's going to put us at a mintage of 68,000. So that's 68,000 that are most likely going to be released to the general public. Now, we don't know that exact number. I don't even know if the Mint knows that exact number. If the Mint knew the exact number, it would be really nice if they shared that with us because it would help us make some informed decisions. I don't know that they're going to do that. I don't think they will. This is probably going to be a media fiasco for them because I'm telling you right now, I'm just like, I am so beyond myself. I'm so upset at the fact that they they would take this away from the general public. And they're going to say, well, it's not taken away from the general public. It's put into dealers' hands and they're going to sell them. Well, yeah, but you know what? They're going to sell them at such a high rate that not too many people are going to be able to get them. And that's BS. Who was this made for? Was this made for the bulk buyers or was this made for the general public? The Mint screwed us again. And I'm really hot about this. I'm really, really disappointed in the US Mint. And I really hope that the Coin Show podcast, who's going to be interviewing the Mint director here sometime next month, asks that question to the Mint director. Do you feel like you jacked up the collectors? Do you feel like you took the opportunity for the standard Joe to have one of these by offering these privy marks to the bulk dealers? Or do you even care? I would love to see somebody challenge the Mint director with that question. And if the Mint director or anybody at the US Mint happens to see this, please forward this question to him. And I would love for them to answer me. You can ask frostbite at gmail.com. Send me the information. Let me know, and I'll be happy to report it. Because it's really upsetting for the general person, the lay person, the new collector, the new hobbyist, the person who's coming into this, really having an opportunity to have something that was really potentially cool. Something that was, even though it was $104 and there's only one per household, it was semi-affordable for most of the general populace. But a coin being $600, $700, $800, if you try to look at the set of some of the ones that are on eBay, we looked at one this morning. You want to go back, look at my morning stream. We talk about this. There's one that's on sale. It's a gold coin, and it's the Privy Mark coin for $10,000 freaking dollars. $10,000, folks. Who the hell of us in chat can afford 10 grand for two freaking coins? We can't. No, I don't know about you. I can't afford an ounce of gold. I just don't have that in my budget. If any of you out there do, then I am so happy. I hope you can get one at November when they come out. Now, the Mint hasn't even released all the details of that. They haven't released the image. If you look at the Mint for that time frame, it's just not there. Okay. I really wish that they would be a little bit more transparent. I wish that they would really release and give product updates. Hey, we've sold 6,521 of these in the bulk program, and you have the opportunity of getting 69,105. Let us know where we're at, but they're hiding behind this cloak of ignorance. When you look at the Silver Dragon's comment, Silver Dragon stated that when he asked, it's like, well, we don't know how many of there are, but they're just random. So the Mint can't tell the general public how many of these there are. And if the Mint can't tell us how many of them there are, then what are the likelihood that we as a general populace, me as a low end collector, are going to be able to get one of these? So I want to go to chat. I've been watching chat. Everybody's been saying hi. There's some basic things, hey, Dimebag, thank you for asking for people to do the like. I appreciate it. There's lots of people to go out there. Yeah. So I don't, Dimebag, I don't even know if the mint, we've talked about this before. And again, if you've ever been to my streams, you know that we talk about different things and we talk about the opportunities that are out there. We talk about where we're at in our hobby. We talk about the desire for many of us to teach and educate, provide good, solid information, to give people an opportunity to have enough information to make good, educated decisions. Whether it comes to numismatics, whether it comes to stacking, we have stacking channels. We have people who do metal detecting. We have a ton of people in here who do a lot of different things. We have doctors, we have lawyers, we have nurses, we have paramedic, we have first responders, we have people that work for the government, we have people that are military, we have people that are caretakers. We have a huge community of people, and most of us don't make the big bucks to drop four, five, six, $10,000 on a pair of coins. A lot of us were hoping that we would have the opportunity for $100 to get something that could potentially be worth a good fair amount of money. Now, 2.4%. Now, those are really low odds, but there was a better chance than what we have now. Right now, at this point in time, we have no idea what that odds ratio is. We have no way of knowing how many of those privy marks have gone out. Now, you want to hear the point that really pisses me off? I got to take a drink. Hold on. The point that really pisses me off. All right, I'm going to ask a question in chat. Please do me a favor. If you know the answer to this, put this comment in chat. Okay, and if you're here, please do me a favor. Smash the like button, please. Just double tap the screen. That really helps. We got 100 people in here. Please, let's make sure we get the likes. I'm going to do a giveaway at the end. I've got a silver ounce here that I'm going to give away. But again, please just do this. Share this out if you will. Right? Subscribe if you want to. I'm not worried about the subscriptions. I'm more worried about just making sure people have the information about what is actually going on and how frustrating it's going to be for the general populace. 949 gifted 5 memberships. Joseph Lopez, Dimebag Coins, Dan McCumber, 949. Thank you so much for gifting the memberships. Victor Echo Coins, Darren Ottman. Thank you guys so much. This is so cool. Thank you so much for coming in here. 949. I really do appreciate you. Thank you a ton. I would buy the 1909 SBD slab and the Mercdine before I buy it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I would buy an SVDB. I would buy a 16D. I would buy a 1914 Denver Lincoln cent. I would buy the 31S. There are so many more coins, numismatic coins, that are far more valuable to me than this silver coin. Especially if you're talking about $1,000. Hell no. Right? Oh God, I'm so freaking hot. But here's the question that I wanted to ask. Call me a weirdo. I love it. Fire away, Van Dam. Fire away. Here's the thing. If you were not a collector, you were not into numismatics, you're not a stacker, you're not into the history of the United States numismatic, then this might not mean anything to you. And that's fine. Right? Not everybody has to like what I like. Not everybody has to do what I do. Not everybody has to follow what I follow. And I'm not asking you to, but there's a lot of people out there that were really banking on an opportunity for the US Mint to come clean and talk about something that was an opportunity that many of us could barely afford at 104 of these at $104 and not $900. We don't know that we don't know the amount that are out there now. We don't have any information. And as far as I can be aware, the mint hasn't released how many they've sold. I would really like to see the mint transparent. Here's my question. Of the 1,794 coins that we're going to have the preview mark, how many of them were supposed to have a certificate of authenticity signed by the mint director? Of the 1,794 silver coins that were having the Privy Mark, how many of them were supposed to have a certificate of authenticity signed by the mint director? If you know the answer, put the answer in chat. This is one of the major questions that I have, and I don't know the answer. I haven't seen anything on it yet. I bet if they have them, they've been told to keep it hush hush because there's a very, very, very limited amount of these. And this limited amount of these is going to be something that is going to cross, excuse me, the limited amount of these is going to change the cost of one of these exactly dime bag 230. 230 of these are going to have a certificate of authenticity signed by the director of the US Mint. Now, it's just a person, right? It's not a big deal. But the thing is that these are going to make this particular privy mark extremely valuable. When you're talking about a 10 to 20 time or 1,000 time percent increase in the cost, that's massive. There's a lot of people out here, me included, that if I was to receive one of these with the privy mark and the certificate of authenticity, I would have to sell it. I wouldn't be able to keep it. I couldn't justify being able to sell something for $9,000, $10,000 and not provide for my family, not put and take care of bills, not buy a couple other numismatic coins that I really want to, but pay a couple of bills to work on getting out of debt, maybe adding to my stack, maybe preparing for an SHTF situation, maybe buying some extra stores or storing some extra water or something for a natural disaster. We just had massive hurricanes that battered and beat up North Carolina and Florida. We have a lot of people on the eastern seaboard right now that would have died to have a bunch of things in reserve, but simply didn't have them because they couldn't afford them. If I got this coin, I absolutely would be selling this thing with a certificate of authenticity and be stacking some stuff up to make sure that I was able to provide and prepare for my family in the case of an SHTF situation. If you don't know what SHTF, it's when it's the fan. Okay, that's what that means. More solar. Yeah, there's a lot of things that you could do with that kind of money. I mean, you could buy an SVDB, you could buy something else and still have a bunch of money to take care of your family. Right? So I want one just to profit off of it. Not necessarily. I want one just because I want the design. I would like to have the privy mark just because there's only 1,794 of them. But it would be amazing to have one with a certificate. But I've got to be honest, if I got one with a certificate, I have to sell it. But here's the thing. How many of those certificates are already in the hands of the big bullion dealers? Good question. How many are out there? If we already know that these have already gone out to the big bullion collectors, we already know that the big bullion dealers, the bulk buyers, have already got 8, 9% of these coins. We know that there's only 68, 69,000 of them available for us normal people. Then how many of those certificates are already gone? What are the odds of that? What are the odds? It's like hitting the lottery, right? Now, I'm less concerned about that. I'm just more concerned about there being transparency. So I think the mint screwed up again because I think that while there's still an opportunity, we don't know what the bottom line is. We don't know. What we don't know is how many of them are left. We don't know how many of them went out into the bulk collector's hands. We know that for a fact, one of them has 5. And you think about the statistical ratio of the people that have 5, how in the hell does that happen? Just makes you wonder. It's those things that make you go, if you remember the 90s phrase. Okay. So again, these are things that I want people to be just aware of. Now, there's going to be more information. One of the questions that I was asked this morning is what's the likelihood that the US Mint does what they've done in the past and the day before they raise the price? It's a potential. I wouldn't bank on it. I think they're pretty much going to stay here. Michael Stacking, FEMA confiscated food and supplies from Newport team and then took it to Bristol. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to get into the politics of it, especially FEMA and the stuff that's going on. I will leave that to the experts who deal with natural disasters. I know that if we keep having a heavy hurricane season like we have, FEMA's in trouble. That's about the extent that I will go into the politics of that. I'm not here to talk politics. I'm here to talk just simple facts about what's happening. I like that dad joke, by the way. People are making apocalypse jokes like there's no tomorrow. It makes me laugh. But again, folks, I'm really hot. I wanted to take a few moments just to talk with you guys, let you know again, if you have any questions on this, please do me a favor, reach out, let me know, subscribe, put comments down below, share this out, let people know what's going on. But again, what we do know is the US Mint has already bulk sold some of these privy marks to people. We don't know how many there are left. We don't know how many have gone out. The Mint director has already, the POC at the Mint, I'm not going to say the Mint director, but the POC that Silver Dragons talked to in the Mint has indicated that they don't know. It's random. They're going to hold by that 2.4%, that ratio of 2.4%. The odds of that are no longer true. We don't know that. Again, it's one of those things. I understand that Silver Wolverine, but here's the thing. When you look at secondary market sales, you look at what's already up there on eBay, that 5% is not there. And so it's going to be way higher than that, simply because there's such a limited quantity of these. I understand what the resale value is going to be on these, but I can guarantee you that they're not going to sell these initially. They're going to hold on to some of these. And they're going to wait till the gold coin comes out. They're going to issue them as a pair. And like I've seen on eBay already, if you go look at eBay, you go look at the items that are there, you go look at the elements that are in that particular subset, you're going to see $65, $68, $100 for the gold coin. You're going to see for the pair $9,400, $9,900, $10,000. You're going to see these listed, and they're already there. And the question is they have a limit of 5 of them. How in the hell did they get 5 of them? How did they get 5 privy marks? That's what I want to know. If these are random and they're set out like this, if somebody orders less than 10% has gone out, if you look at the odds of somebody getting 5 in, let's even say 8%, the odds of one person getting 5 are astronomical. Astronomical. We're talking into the billions, bud, maybe even a trillion in order for that to happen. So what is the likelihood that one of us common people is going to get one of these? Because we don't know how many of those have already gone out. That 2.4 odds ratio is no longer a viable number. So anybody who quotes it doesn't understand the odds ratio and it doesn't work. Because we've already had a number of sold. We don't have bottom line of how many have already been sold. The Mint has not released that yet. We know that it's anywhere between 7 and 9 or 7 or 10%. It has to be less than 10%. Based off of what the Mint's requirement is, but we do not know the bottom number. We do not know how many of those 1,794 have already been released in that bulk deal. We don't know how many of those have gone out, and we don't know of the 230 certificates. We don't know how many of those have gone out as well. So none of the estimates that have gone out can be utilized. We can't use them anymore. That we do know. What I would like for the US Mint to do is I would like for the US Mint to release something indicating what those are so the standard person like myself has an idea of what the real odds ratio is. That would be my call to them. Because once again, the Mint has hosed the common person for favor of the bulk buyer. So again, go out there. There's a lot of information. Silver Dragons has one. I'll put the link in the description once we're done. I'll make sure that the link to Silver Dragons video is there so you can see the information from Silver Dragons. I'm going to add some of the eBay listings so you can go check it out. All you have to do is go onto eBay and type 2024 flowing hair design privy, and you'll be able to see the deals that are out there already for the gold and the silver privy mark coin for $10,000. Go out there, look at it, start asking questions, folk. And if you have the opportunity, reach out to the mint and have the mint reach out to them, flood them, let them know that you've heard about this and that you're wanting to know how many are out there. Let's get some answers from the US Mint. Again, if you have contacts at the US Mint and somebody's able to come up and really talk about what's going on, really provide us information, accurate, true, and transparent. Folks, I want transparent information from the Mint. I want to know what's going on. I want to know how many of them are out there. They owe it to the general public. October 15th is just a couple days away. The US Mint owes this to the general public to release how many of them are actually out there. And this is my call to them. Transparency. You owe it to the general public. Please share it with us. We're interested to know. All right, folks. Yeah, let's rage. Well, again, folks, you won't see this of me very often. It takes a lot to get me really riled up. But what I am is I'm passionate about protecting you guys. Everybody in this stream that knows who I am knows that I am here to provide good, solid, and accurate information to the best of my ability to protect the common person, to protect those people from being tricked and utilized and abused by the big powers that be. I want to make sure that the disinformation that's rampant on social media is the information is provided to you in a way that you can ask questions in an educated manner and understand when you go buy a coin to understand enough about it to be able to ask questions to ensure that you're not going to get screwed. My job is to protect. I want to make sure that people have the right information. And I bring people, I ask a ton of questions. I do a ton of research. And folks, I don't know everything. I have only been doing this about 2 years, but I have worked to build a good network of people who really do understand this. And I have worked really hard to make sure that I provide the best possible information I can. And if I'm wrong, I will admit it. I will own it. In many cases, I'll retract the video. I'll even take it down and I'll apologize. I'll even put a retraction if need be. I've done it in the past. I'll do it again because I'm about truth. But what I'm really about, anybody who knows me knows I stand by 3 tenets. These tenets, if you're a Marine or you're a Navy, you understand these: honor, commitment, and courage. Integrity first, above all else, integrity. I take the high road and I want the people that I work with to do the same. The Mint owes us transparency. If the Mint doesn't want to lose a ton of people over this, if the Mint doesn't want to lose a bunch of potential collectors, if the Mint doesn't want to get really, I'm so frustrated because the Mint had the opportunity to do something so good for the collector, to really stand up and do something for the standard person. And they screwed us again. How did they do it? Because they should have told these bulk dealers, look, you're going to have the opportunity just like everybody else. But we're not going to release the privy marks until October 15th. We're going to allow you to do your bulk deals. We'll allow you to get the regular privy marks as we agree, but you're not going to get these ones. Now, a lot of people said, well, that's not fair to the bulk collectors. No, but it's fair to the average Joe. And if they were really concerned about the numismatic person, if they're really concerned about the collector, if they were really concerned about their image, really trying to do what they can for the general populace of the United States of America, the US Mint would have made concessions for the general population over big business. And I've got friends that are bullion dealers, and I got friends that do this, and I understand that you buy in bulk, but guess what? You're not special. SD Bullion wants to say that they do this big volume of stuff, and they do a lot of great stuff. They deserve to have early release stuff. They fully deserve it. JM Bullion, Hero Bullion, Mike from Mid America Coins. They have the right to purchase these items, but the US Mint for these ones should have allowed the general populace the opportunity to get these first. Allow these big bulk dealers the opportunity to get these afterwards. And the Mint screwed up a great opportunity. I would like to hear transparency from the US Mint on this. All right, folks. I need to go cool off. I'm going to go take a long walk. I'm going to go take my dogs out, cool off, mellow out. I want you to do me a favor. Share this out. You don't have to necessarily share my video. Share the information. Go do the research. Go check out Silver Dragon's video. Again, I want you guys to know I'm just here. I don't need everybody following me. I would love if you subscribe, but you don't have to if you don't want to. But please be informed. And please do me a favor. Email the Mint and tell them that they owe you transparency. All right, folks. I love you. Be well, be blessed. Take care of yourselves. If you have the chance, come see me tomorrow morning in my live stream. We'll probably talk more about this. But anyway, be well, be blessed.